da jalil de raha se Champions League ek had gas mein hanguman kick ve java naramenne bhagi dulanne bhidi daste goal ek gannai sit sarasenne samarok venne saddeta denne one heart. One game, one heart. Champions League, this is where we start. Together we dream, together we fight. We are the champions. Under the the call is clear, the Champions League is finally one game, one heart, Champions League, this is where we start. Together we dream, together we fight, we are the champions. That we defend. Marangal kikkavagame, kalathil urudiyai minnavumame. Champions League varave, unarvadukku tarume. Cheer ekai gammak denne, kollo set ekama ek venne. Goal ekata kick ek denne. Champions League mein aramenne. One game, one heart, Champions League, Satanai aramenne, didi denne, jaya ganne, ek seenata apiyanne. One game, one heart, Champions League, where dreams take part. Raise your flags, feel the art. Football, one game, one heart. Hey oh, one dream, one star. Hey oh, one game, one heart. Champions League, forever we play. The spirit of football leads the way.
Hello and welcome to the Racecourse International Stadium here from the heart of Colombo on the afternoon of a beautiful Sunday here in January as we move into match number 35 of the Champions League tournament here, Sri Lanka's second division, and this time it's St. Mary's from Jaffna taking on Sri Lanka Police in this game. Visible to you, and in particular www.thepapare.com, broadcasting worldwide. So here's a look at the fixtures from this game week. Sri Lanka Transport Board, after a valiant effort, losing out 3-1 to Negombo Youth after taking a surprise lead early on. Super Sun and Pelicans playing out a 0-0 draw in what was a drab encounter. Crystal Palace losing out to Serendi Basi, who despite a red card showed absolute dominance in every department in the early kickoff yesterday. Mathura City getting thumped by Anuradhapura's own Solid SC 4-0. Now we'll see the pride of the North, St. Mary's SC, taking on Sri Lanka Police, followed by arguably one of the biggest matches in this tournament, at least on a legacy level. Java Lane taking on Saunders in the late kickoff later today. And very quickly, having a look at your Group B standings here. Pelicans number 1 on this table with 11 points. Solid SC trailing closely behind with 10 points. Super Sun, St. Mary's and Police all in the race for the other qualification positions. Moragas Mulle SC and Mathura City seems like their race in this Champions League is done. St. Mary's, of course, led by Nidarshan, the midfielder in the number 8 shirt. And Sri Lanka Police by Malinga Hettiarachchi, the rock at the back for them in the number 7 shirt. Sri Lanka Police, despite coming into this tournament as one of the favoured sides, they've had some surprise results go against them. So they'll be looking forward to try and stamping their authority and really making amends for some of the shock results they've had to experience so far. And here's a look at your referees. A.M. Jafran going to be blowing the whistle today. Lahir Madhushankar and Samal Ridma supporting him as the referees, the assistant referees rather, and Sashanka Madhushankar this time as fourth official. Subramaniam Prashantan will also serve as the match commissioner for today's game. And Dilan Pereira will be the referee assessor. So all set, one final picture for St. Mary's, and then we will jump into the coin toss to choose the sides that these teams will play in. So quick switch of sides. St. Mary's winning the toss and deciding that they want the opposite end of the pitch. One final photograph. Here's a quick look at your lineups for today. Nidarshan in midfield, captaining St. Mary's, to be supported by Jernes and Meron and Prince Clifford. In front of them, John Loyas, Marison, Danjuman Gumbari and John Lawani playing, and as well as Jerushan playing in defense, Ruben Raj and OK Metobo, and in goal Sindhujan. Sri Lanka Police, like I said, Malinga Hettiarachchi will be leading that defense alongside Dayabaran Selvaraj, Ahmed Amish and Navod Hasika in a traditional back four. Shashan Prabuddha, Damit Samantha will be holding the midfield position, and they've gone out with their all-out four-man attack. Hussein Abdullah, Nabil Sardin, the diminutive Gayan Rivaldo and Charlaka Nishanta making up the rest of that side. Dinesh Mahendran staying in between the sticks for coach Mahinda Galagedara.
Will be a very interesting matchup today between these two teams. Of course, St. Mary's, they lost last week despite being on the top of the table to Supersun, who were at the bottom of the table. So they'll be licking their wounds and wanting to come back with vengeance here. That was their first defeat of this tournament.
Let the countdown begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And the man you heard there taking us through the next 90 minutes alongside me is Bilal Marikka. Bilal, like you said, St. Mary's will be looking to really confirm their position into the next round of this tournament, as will Sri Lanka Police. Sri Lanka Police have had a few mishaps along the way and lost some games they weren't expected to lose. So given the position in the league standings and the points on offer, as well as the points that are on the table right now, both these teams would be looking to put some daylight between each other.
Definitely, Deshan. And seeing as Police have lost 2 in a row as well, they'll want to make a good comeback here and put on a show for their fans. Sri Lanka Police playing in their white kits and St. Mary's donned in the dark blue jersey. Got quite a crowd here today at the Racecourse International Stadium. Many supporters behind St. Mary's who they'll be egging on throughout this game today.
And an unnecessary spill there on that occasion by Sindhujan. It was a very tame effort coming from distance, but made an absolute meal of that, and now Sri Lanka Police have their first corner.
Quite a crowded box here. Police putting in around 5 players inside the box. But not the best of crosses. Still with an opportunity. Well dealt with there by the goalkeeper for St. Mary's, Sindhujan.
Some early nerves in front of goal for Sindhujan. He's going to need to calm down.
St. Mary's now in the attack at the edge of the box, waiting for the cross.
Dinesh Mahendran making no mistake, but what was, on a technical level at least, very nice to see was how Police got the men behind the ball immediately and made it so much more difficult for St. Mary's down that right flank. Immediately outnumbered them despite losing possession. And that defensive organization has held them in good stead so far this tournament, and something they'll look forward to continue trying to take advantage of. And an unnecessary error there. Bit of a verbal joust between Dinesh Mahendran and his defender. And fair enough, I think. But there needs to be a bit more decisiveness with regards to who comes out for that ball, and usually it should be the goalkeeper who dictates terms.
St. Mary's, of course, like we mentioned before, having tasted their first taste of defeat, will not be wanting to go back to that. And Police, being a team that have gone 2 down in a row, they'll be looking to capitalize on this opportunity. A shot from range there, but really doesn't get the connection. And here's Police now with an opportunity. And done well, prodded into goal. It's Police who score first here today at the Racecourse International Stadium. What a counter that was. Long pass by the goalie. Then the 2 attackers. Brilliantly done. Could be argued that the goalkeeper could have done better. However, He had two attackers to deal with, and that little moment of confusion, that little moment of hesitation, just allowed the two police attackers to make amends. And it's Madhuka Ashan who scores the goal for police. And that'll definitely settle their nerves in these early stages of the game. Starting off, they didn't really look quite as fluent as they would have wanted to with the ball at their feet. However, they managed to score a goal here. St. Mary's now a bit under pressure after that early goal.
So Chalaka Nishanta with an early goal coming in, maybe a second one now. Sindhujan doesn't clear like that cleanly either. First 5 minutes to forget for Sindhujan. But Sri Lanka police will not be complaining. They know they've got a rock solid defensive record, and now they've got an early goal to boot. That's exactly how they would have liked to start, and exactly what coach Mahinda Galagedara would have wanted when he sent this team out for this game.
Bit too much there from St. Mary's on that ball. St. Mary's stacking their midfield there with a number of players, and it looks like they'll be having two attackers as of now. That looks like the formation they're sticking to, at least. Interesting to see that on paper they only have two defenders playing today. However, they've got number of players dropping down and filling in those positions. They just haven't managed to get that spark, St. Mary's, so far. But early minutes in this game, got a lot more time to do something here. Here's a long ball into the box, straight into the hands of Dinesh Mahindran. Here's another cross right in. Very well dealt with there by Dinesh Mahindran.
Dinesh Mahendra doing all the right things there, coming out for the ball, beating the man to it and collecting it. I wouldn't say cleanly, but gets the job done. And after that first little near mishap and that confusion, it's good to see that he's taking claim and really owning the box. And police will find that rather welcoming, as St. Mary's have had to clear from a tight angle and a tight position. The ball now being fed through to the far side. Here now is an opportunity to get the ball to the box. Fantastic cross coming in. Call for a foul potentially, but no, I think the flag has gone up for offside instead. Just having another look at that one, yeah, it does look like an offside, but that trio in particular of John Lavali, Danjuma Gumbari and Prince Clifford really does add a different dynamic to this St. Mary's attack. Clear there by Lavani. Bit too much on it.
Dinesh Mahendran just taking time to get his players into the field where he wants them. And another long pass. This time doesn't quite get it right. Of course, that tactic did bear fruit for Police early on with that first goal. And looks like they are sticking to it so far. They haven't really built from the back. Whenever they've had the opportunity to go for those long balls, they have. Here's Police now. The rather ambitious shot towards goal. Sails harmlessly past, wide of it.
Here's an opportunity for Sri Lanka. Police takes the shot very nearly and dispossessed. Just on the edge of the 18-yard box. St. Mary's living on the edge.
It's Damit Samantha for Police with that shot there. Goal at his mercy. Just hitting it too wide. Definitely encouraging signs for Police here, but also have to say, born out of the mistakes of the St. Mary's players. That earlier goal as well came from a corner. That was a result of an unnecessary spill from Sindhujan.
This is fantastic against by Sri Lanka Police. I know he did concede the foul, but the intensity of the press all the way by the opposition touchline, and it's putting a lot of pressure. And as a result, we can see how that has manifested in the rest of the game. There is no real coordination and there is no real fluidity midfield to attack for St. Mary's. They've got so much to do at the back. And fantastic work, fantastic intensity, and in particular, credit to Mahinda Galagedra for pushing the team so much forward so much, and the likes of Nabil Sardi, Gayan Rivaldo for executing it so far. What remains to be seen is how well can they do this as the team fatigues and the game goes on.
Of course, building on what you said, Deshan, it looks like Metobo is one of the players that St. Mary's depend on in order to make some plays as well from that back line. Safely cleared there. And with that press on him, he's just unable to get anything going for his team. He's not unable to stick to the ploys they might have practiced. That's creating major issues between the forward line and the midfield for St. Mary's so far. Yes, St. Mary's now with another opportunity. Long ball into the box. Well dealt with, meets a sea of white jerseys. Is that long ball once again?
Good composure shown there, St. Mary's. I was on the edge of my seat wondering whether there would be an interception, but wait. Now, throw in here by Marison. He can get the ball into the box very well, and that's exactly what he does, but no support coming from any of his teammates. Marison now gets the ball into the box. A good opportunity. St. Mary's, can they make it 1-1? Dinesh Mahendran collects it well. The shot, a lot of the venom taken out of it, but that's more like it from the Jaffna side. What they really do need to kind of work on is getting Lavani more involved in the attack. He's playing as a focal point almost. And he's marked down very well on that occasion by Ahmad Amish. And Lavani, just a few words for his teammate, he's not very pleased.
Have to say, police is doing quite well to nullify the venom with which St. Mary's is trying to play. They've disrupted their rhythm whenever they've had the ball. Just like that, that high press once again by those two police forwards. Good bit of control there, but not a lot of support. And the ball has been stolen by police. Now another attempt at a shot from range. Goes wide once again. Definitely nice to see for the police fans is the pressure that they keep applying on the St. Mary's defense and midfield. Once again, unable to get anything going.
As we roll into the 20-minute mark, St. Mary's still to really find their foot in this game. Sri Lanka Police with the better chances, and what Police need to do is Gumbari presses the defender. What they really need to do is a bit more composure at the back, a bit more composure on the ball. Gan Rivaldo now, a speculative effort, but again, Sindhujan absolutely wrong positioning there, Bilal, and nearly trips over while trying to get to it. He needs to be careful.
Sindhujan not having the best of days. Have to recover fast here.
Lavani as well. And now Sri Lanka Police. Gan Rivaldo takes a tumble. Looks like he catches his man while at it. Yes. Bit of a delayed reaction there from John Loyas. But can sting a little bit when you're playing at that intensity.
St. Mary's seem to be under a cloud of uncertainty whenever they have the ball in possession. And even in that instance, John Loyas just holding on to the ball for a second too late before passing, which enabled the police player to just interrupt the flow of the game. whenever they've had the ball in their possession, what St. Mary's should try to do here is to build some momentum going forward to keep possession of the ball. That's what their fans would want to see. Few worried faces so far here from the St. Mary's fans. With 20 minutes gone, it's high time that St. Mary's find their rhythm here.
Now an opportunity to test the police defense again. Looking for a cross, and the ball sent in rather well, but Ruben Raj not able to find a man. Now police on the break. Playing a nice little 1-2. Beautiful play there. Nabil Sardin takes his time. Works it all the way back to Malinga Hettiarachi through Ahmad Amish. And now ball finds its way to the other side of the pitch. Dabar and Selvaraj on the far side. Fed through this left flank.
It's a good build up for police, but not what they would have wanted there as the end result.
Beautiful play here by St. Mary's. Ball comes in. An opportunity maybe, but Dinesh Mahendran once again taking claim of his box. Gets the ball out very quickly. Gan Rivaldo takes a tumble, wins the foul. A little bit of an effort there to try and stop that from progressing into an attack faster by Oke Metobo.
And police once again attempting to go for goal from rather far out. They've done that multiple times here, to no avail so far. Here's police now once again with an opportunity. Sam cross into the box and finds a police player, but very well done there by the St. Mary's defense. Two players down in the box. Here's that chance once again. Beautifully flighted delivery there, but the police player just unable to control it. Just hits him in the hip.
Once again living dangerously, St. Mary's.
There's a great opportunity for police there. They'll be ruining that chance. There was a very good pass into the box as well.
Not a lot of joy on the faces of police, on the face of St. Mary's fans rather today so far. As Metobo steps up, tries to push through, and again the intensity of the press fantastic from Sri Lanka police, and they've been really effective in doing that. Beautiful bit of footwork, getting past one man, getting past another, losing out on possession, but immediately the press coming in again. He gets past two men, and once again dispossessed, and this is fantastic defensive work.
Tussle in the midfield for the ball resulting in a foul.
Metobo and Lavani there, just having a bit of a few words among them. I think particular. In the case of Lavani, he's probably not very pleased about the fact that he's just not got much support at all so far today.
Police once again go for that long pass. Yes, and Mary's with an opportunity to counter, but just doesn't get it right. Ball once again back in the possession of the police team, who are doing the right thing here, keeping their composure, sticking to a game plan as well with the attacks and the defense. But here's an opportunity now for St. Mary's, but it looks like it's called offside. Not the first time that this has happened in the game so far for Lavani. Just has to make sure he delays that run. Maybe curves it, staying behind the defenders.
He's looking increasingly frustrated as the game goes on, isn't he? Not getting the service, and when he does, not really working out for him.
Frustration is showing in the pitch as well from the rest of the players.
Now Prince Clifford trying to look for a pass, opts to go short.
Ruben Raj on the ball.
Again, fantastic defensive work rate. Very nearly falling to Sri Lanka Police. Metobo taking no chances, gets rid of it. Gumbari. Prince Clifford. Marison running down that flank and wins the foul. Just a bit late by Malinga Hettiarachchi. Beg your pardon, that was... I think that was Ahmad Amish with that foul, but no card by the looks of it, and I think that was fairly contested, but good opportunity now for St. Mary's with a very good angle as well to try and get the ball into the box and potentially test Dinesh Mahendran in the process.
St. Mary's now committing a few more players forward in an attempt to pierce through that police defense, and almost working in that occasion. Here's an opportunity for police now. Apologies for St. Mary's now to create something from this position they've got and to get that equalizer for themselves. Three players surrounding the ball. Prince Clifford. Nidarsan, the captain, is making his way into the box as well. Shot! And how did he miss that? Shot! And how did he miss that? The goal right at his mercy. How did he miss that? What an opportunity that was for St. Mary's. The ball ricocheting off his leg right over the goal. It was John Lavani. Usually doesn't miss chances like that, and police will be quite happy with that result for themselves. Gumbari with the cross. Perfectly executed. Lavani making a meal out of it there. golden chance for the equalizer.
I think it goes without saying, those are the chances that should be buried if you are trying to churn out a result in a game such as this. And John Lavani from 5 yards out, don't know how he's managed to miss that.
As we reach 30-minute mark in this game, St. Mary's have still found themselves one down. It's a replay of that opportunity. Quite lucky for Police that not going in. There's Lavani on the ball now.
Gumbari on the flank. Gumbari tries to take a touch. He gets the ball into the box very nearly, and Sri Lanka Police taking no chances. Ahmed Amish does fantastically well to get rid of that one. That's more like it from St. Mary's. They're knocking on the door more often now. Just a bit of a tussle on the far side there between Dabar and Selvaraj, and Gumbari, and Selvaraj takes to the floor, getting tackled from behind, and no cards and no problems there, is there? But I think the free kick has been awarded now, and Dinesh Mahendran will take all the time in the world to take this one.
Police, on account of their high press, whenever they are in possession, whenever they are out of possession of the ball, will slow things down when they do have it, just so that their players will have a brief respite. They know that it's not something that they can keep up for the entirety of the game, so it's good game management here from Police as well.
Now Gumbari on the ball, about to drive down this left flank, right flank. Gumbari gets the ball sent into the box very nearly and has a fantastic opportunity, but Prince Clifford's effort straight at Dinesh Mahendran. Doing everything right once again. St. Mary's will feel that luck is not on their side so far in this game, but this Police press, impressive to say the least, and 35 minutes in, still going as hard as ever. They managed to turn over possession. Nabil Sardin, nearly to Amish, but gives it away. Amish wins it back. Sardin, the throw in for St. Mary's. Now, okay, Matobo sends the ball forward, but not really getting anywhere. But again, fantastic work by Sri Lanka Police after losing the ball.
Police, if they want to keep a clean sheet here, something they'll have to do is nullify the threat posed by Gumbari there. He's been looking quite dangerous on the wing. Dribbling past defenders.
Interesting bit of a strategy as well, and it looks like the St. Mary's, at least the way they lined up, have opted for a strategic change as Prince Clifford works his way down this flank very nearly, and John Gumbari couldn't get the shot away. So another opportunity for them. Amounts to nothing, and fantastic work here. Gumbari just mishits that one, but Prince Clifford doing all the hard work, and that was the result of Bilal. What I was trying to point out is that now St. Mary's, despite not quite mentioning this in their official formation communication, they're now playing a 4-3-3. So they've moved two men back, and they've moved Prince Clifford from the midfield to the attack, essentially playing as a left forward or a left winger. Gumbari down the middle and John Lavani down the right. So a bit of a change on that in that department as well.
A welcome change for the fans as well, as St. Mary's is definitely looking more of a threat now rather than their players in the opening minutes. Here's Police now. Malinga Hettiarachi passing it on. Cross. Well done there by Sindhujan.
Better from Sindhujan. Coming out and claiming the ball.
Here's Gumbari now.
And fantastic press yet again from Police. An absolute battery there on Hussein Abdullah. Nabil Sardin pressing, but he gets beaten. Now an opportunity down this left flank. St. Mary's pushing up. Ruben Raj looking for Prince Clifford. Prince Clifford, can he get past the man? No, he cannot. But the ball going out for a throw-in once again to St. Mary's. Ratnam Jasmine pushing his chargers to get further up the pitch.
They are looking for an equalizer here, St. Mary's. In these dying minutes of the first half, they'll want to go into half-time having scored that equalizer. But the Police defense holding on quite well.
It really does change the way the game will be played in the second half as well when that happens.
Referee just having a word with the players there. St. Mary's now with another opportunity. They've been knocking at the door for quite some time here in these past few minutes. And it's the captain Nidarsan who will be taking this free kick. Ball flighted in, going towards goal. But Dinesh Mahendran making sure that it doesn't go past him.
And now an opportunity for Sri Lanka Police. Can they make it too? Very nearly, I think. On that occasion, Hussein Abdullah contesting with Sindhujan. Definitely onside by the looks of it. But it's a bit of a clash with the goalkeeper. So St. Mary's over the last few minutes in particular have been the better side by far. They have been doing a good job. And now a good opportunity for Prince Clifford to get the ball into the box, and a great opportunity once again goes begging. The cross not quite finding its intended target.
Here's Gumbari now once again from the right hand flank. Cross into the box, flighted in. Still here for St. Mary's. Police now with the chance to counter.
Hussein Abdullah here on the far side. Hussein Abdullah, speculative effort really.
Good bit of skill there to keep the ball in possession. St. Mary's looking dangerous here with this attack. Yes, Lavani now. Wasted opportunity once again. The surge of attacks in this final few minutes of the first half, Deshan, do you think it's a result of the police just getting a bit too fatigued by that high press they were attempting to maintain?
Potentially, but also I think there's a great element of urgency now on the part of St. Mary's as well, and I think that is also one of the reasons that they've now changed their formation a little bit. They've put their three best attacking players all to play in the front line, and that is evident based on how much Prince Clifford has had to do down this left flank. He was previously playing in the middle of the park, so it's a mix of factors. But going into half-time interval, Bilal, I think I would be the happy of the two coaches if I was the police coach, wouldn't it?
Definitely, they've gone one up here. They've managed to keep that tight line of defense and deprive St. Mary's of any goal scoring goals so far. There have been plenty of opportunities, just haven't taken it, and luck on police's side as well. Foul there on Gumbari in these last few minutes. Nidarsan once again. Here's Nidarsan with a flighted ball in. St. Mary's goes for another half-hearted shot, just doesn't get it right. Meets a wall of police defenders. Nidarsan booting it to Gumbari on that right flank. Dribbles past right into the box, and once again Lavani just not getting it right. He's not having the best of days today, John Lavani. Gumbari creating those chances, chance after chance, opportunity after opportunity. And we'll be having 2 minutes of added time here. 2 minutes for St. Mary's to do something to get that equalizer. 2 minutes for police to hold on. Six players in the box. St. Mary's putting it in.
Cheeky touch there. Very nearly ending up there. St. Mary's throwing the kitchen sink at it, and in the process, I think, takes a hit. Yellow card. Flash that Chalaka Nishanta, the goal scorer, but Chalaka Nishanta can't believe it. And I think, given the intensity of the play there, Bilal, Marison taking that snapshot, Chalaka Nishanta, both of them coming for the ball. I didn't see at least a lot of intent in terms of doing much with malice.
Have to agree there with you, Deshan, and it's the goal scorer, Chalaka. Who's carded.
Yeah, very harsh there on Chalaka Nishant, and Marison definitely catching it the wrong way, but just not enough in it for me.
Now St. Mary's will have an opportunity right outside the box. Could be the last play of this first half. And they'd be delighted if they could score with this. Still a bit of chatter between both teams and the referee.
Looks like Morrison is okay, and as we've surpassed the minimum added time, potentially the last play of this half now.
Quite an interesting formation here.
Dylan Pereira there. Refereeing the referees. It's been at all the games here for this tournament.
An interesting set piece here, Deshan forming. Got a bunch of players behind the ball.
A little bit complicated also, given the fact that it's dead center almost in front of the box. So both offensively and defensively it can be. There's us on the screen, Bilal. But like I said, it's complicated because of the fact that you have to go left or right, and it can be confusing both on attacking and defensive standpoint, because normally you do have the wall blocking the open side and the keeper manning the other end of the goal. So when it's in the center, attacking wise, gives you a little more space to play with, but not the easiest to defend. I mean, at least as an attacker, back when I played, I preferred always having one side a bit too much, so it gives you a bit more of a target. So the advantage, of course, is if you have a left footer and a right footer, you can go either side.
Deshan, and that seems to be the thinking, as they have Lavani and Nidarsan behind the ball.
Both seem to be right footers by the looks of it.
Nidarsan going for it. Brilliantly kept out there. Dinesh Mahendran once again saving his team. And at the end of the first half, will be Police who are one up here. St. Mary's chasing after that elusive goal. Still haven't managed to get it past Dinesh Mahendran, who's having a good day today with the gloves. St. Mary's, after starting off not in the most ideal way, have managed to come back quite well, and these are the highlights from the first half. That first goal, as a result, Police, there's that first goal. Doing everything right there, the Police attackers. And then St. Mary's kept knocking on the door, but just weren't able to pierce that defense. And whenever they did manage to, it was Dinesh Mahendran who kept those shots away. St. Mary's arguably just like that had a lot of chances. Have to say luck on the Police side as well. St. Mary's would be quite disappointed going into halftime, but encouraging signs for them. as the attack now, after that change, seems to be much more threatening than when they did start off. And at halftime here, it's Police who are leading by 1 goal. And we'll be going for a short commercial break, and we'll be back with live action here at the Racecourse International Grounds.
Champions League एक हाथ गैस में हैंगुमन kick में जब ये नरमने भाड़ी दुलाने भी दी दस्ते गोल एक गन्नाई सिट सरसने समरोक विन्ने साथ देने We are one game, one heart. One game, one heart, Champions League. This is where we start. Together we dream, together we fight. We are the champions. Under the light.
Football பொதுமொழியே இனங்கள் மதங்கள் கடந்திடுமே ஒன்றாய் இணைந்து பயணித்தொன்றாய் எல்லைகள் தாண்டிடுவோம். The lights are shining, the crowd will roll. This is the moment we waited for. The passion's rising, the call is clear. The Champions League is finally here.
One game, one heart, Champions League. This is where we start. Together we dream, together we fight. We are the champions. Under the light.
We play for love, pride and pain. For every child who dreams again. No borders here, no fear, no end. Just one dream that we defend. மரங்கள் கிக்காகுமே, களத்தில் உறுதியாய் மின்னவும் நாமே. Champions League வரவே, உணர்வதற்கே தருமே.
Cheer ekai kemmak denne, kollo set ekama ek wenne, goal eකට kick එක denne, Champions League mein aramenne. One game, one heart, Champions League, satanai aramenne, didi denne, jaya ganne, එක සිහිනට අපි යන්නේ. One game, one heart, Champions League where dreams take part. Raise your flags, feel the art. Football, one game, one heart. Hey oh, one dream, one star. Hey oh, one game, one heart. Champions League, forever we play. The spirit of football leads the way.
guessing this right. I have. No, I was gonna go last week.
And we are back here at the Racecourse International Stadium with live action from the second half of this game with St. Mary's and Sri Lanka Police. St. Mary's still looking for a goal, still looking for that equalizer. Police having done extremely well so far, especially their goalkeeper Dinesh Mahendran, who has kept out quite a few goals. All to play for in the second half here today. St. Mary's going through their plan for one last time as they take this pitch here today. Police will have to keep doing what they've been doing so far. They've been excellent with their press whenever they're off the ball. And with the ball as well, they've had a sort of one-dimensional attack, two-pronged attack I would say, where they attempt to suck in the defenders and then make a play. They go for that long ball, or if the defenders don't get sucked in, they just go for goal from long range, hoping that the goalkeeper would make a mistake. And here's St. Mary's now with an early chance. Police will breathe a huge sigh of relief. That just went far. St. Mary's showing their attacking intent right from the get-go here.
Early chance for St. Mary's. So the instruction seems to be clear that they've received at the halftime interval as they push forward yet again. Now Police driving down the flank. Here's an opportunity for the second one, and what a save that was by Sindhujan. Doing everything right apart from the fact that he hit it straight at the keeper. The crowd here on the edge of their seat in these early seconds.
Here's that chance.
Hussein Abdullah should have buried that one. Bilal, it was straight at Sindhujan. Sindhujan's hit the deck now, but he'd be breathing a sigh of relief that the ball came straight at him. I don't think there was enough time for him to even figure out where the ball was coming from. It was that quick.
St. Mary's this time just getting a bit lucky with that. While Sindhujan recovers, we'll have a brief stoppage of play here. St. Mary's have really started the second half quite well in comparison to how they started their first half. Sindhujan seems to be all right. In the right place, in the right time there to save that goal. Anxious faces from the St. Mary's fans. Here's Police now building up to an attack. Possession given away to St. Mary's. Not the best of passes, but St. Mary's have been able to do something out of it. St. Mary's now on the attack at the edge of the box here. Here's the cross. Ball still in play.
Gumbari trying to use body fence to get past the defender, but nothing doing. Sri Lanka Police stand stern. St. Mary's win the ball back. Gumbari gets it, but no, Sri Lanka Police now on the break, and here's an opportunity to test St. Mary's on the flip side. Nabil Sardin. Sheshan Prabuddha looking for options, looking for support.
Well collected by Sindhujan there. St. Mary's looking to build from the back here. Nidarsan on the ball. Disrupted. And play will stop once again as we find another Police play on the ground.
I think a bout of cramp by the looks of it. Gumbari helping out Navod Hasika in the defense there. He's just feeling his groin by the looks of it as well.
Neither team will be happy about this.
Substitution, I think, by the looks of it as well. Bilal just confirmed. To the bench, and yeah, I think that just might be now Udhasika's race run. And Saman Nishant rather, already being prepared on the touchline here. So it's going to be an intriguing question to see how long Navod Hasika potentially takes to come back from these groin injuries. You never know how good or bad they might be.
Navod Hasika, part of that Police defense, has had quite a game so far. Police fans will be hoping the new man in can fill in for him quite adequately.
Yeah, and that's just a confirmation now of the substitution here. Saman Nishanta coming on for Navod Hasika. So like for like substitution there for the back four. And an early afternoon for Navod Hasika.
And here St. Mary is now pressing high. Police attempting to go for that long pass once again. Ball just exchanging possession here. Neither of these teams holding it onto it for too long. Goes for a shot right into the hands of Dinesh Mahendran. And in the form he's been in today, he'll collect that quite easily. trickles out of play there. Both these teams after that break seem to have just lost a little bit of momentum.
It's taken the wind out of their sails a little bit, and Gumbari now finds Lavani with a beautiful pass. Lavani tries to get past his man, takes on the new man Saman Nishant, just a bit too much on it. Gumbari understood the assignment, ran into that gap, but on the part of Lavani, just a bit of a hopeful ball more than anything else.
St. Mary's once again attempting to go for that attack. Cross into the... Once again.
Fantastic
John Lavani.
defending there, I think, by Adabar and Selvaraj. Putting his body on the line. And very difficult technique that as well, to dive low and still get the ball away from the goal. And he somehow manages to do everything right there.
How much longer can this police defense hold on? St. Mary's have come out all guns blazing here in the second half. Once again now with an attacking set piece. Ball curves in. Dinesh Mahendran makes no mistake there. Immediately thumps it high. Doesn't reach any of his players.
Doesn't count, but ricochets off the crossbar. Just a little warning to play to the whistle by referee Jafran. Suchan Lavani, you can see the frustration on his face, can't you, Bilal? He's had one of those afternoons where he does all the right steps but doesn't get the right result.
Yes, Deshan. Just not getting it right. He's had the opportunity to make something out of the passes.
Good little 1-2 there. Lavani now double teamed, but he gets the cross in. Here's an opportunity. Prince Clifford, he misses the header completely. And play still on for St. Mary's. Marison sends the ball out wide. The ball comes in. Here's a fantastic opportunity, and very nearly. Very, very nearly. But Gumbari unable to direct the header towards the goal.
St. Mary's still coming in with another wave of attack here. Will this be the play that gets them that equalizer? Defense for Police has been holding on. Here's the cross. Shot not executed properly. Clearance intercepted by St. Mary's. And here's another opportunity, but just a heavy touch there by OK.
Okay, Metobo there tried to get past the defender, just puts too much on that ball. And again, St. Mary's, they'll feel that they're trying to do the right things, that they're knocking on the door. Just no joy yet. And I think, as cliche as it sounds, just one goal really changes the temperature of this game.
They're just not getting that finish right, St. Mary's.
And I think also, similarly, to Police's credit, they've been fantastic in getting in the way of a lot of those efforts as well.
Police defense has been spot on today. Here's Police now on the opposite side with an opportunity to go for goal here. Got 5 players inside that box. Here's the cross, floats in, and an attempt at a bicycle kick there. Just not getting it right. The captain Nidarsan having a word with his players, asking them to hold on. Valiant effort by Nabil Sardin, who's been having a good game today on that wing.
Sri Lanka Police and Nabil Sardin in particular would have thought that that was that. Kumbari wins a free kick on the other side of the pitch. Good footwork, gets past Saman Nishanta and Dabaran Selvaraj. And now St. Mary's with yet another bite at the cherry. Nidarshan taking charge of this free kick himself.
Six players inside the box for St. Mary's. They've got that tallest bunch in there. Three of them at the far edge of the box. Nidarsan will need a good cross here for his players. They go for that far end there. Just unable to direct that header into the side of the goal.
Hitting the deck, I feel, after that little clash. Yeah, that was a very soft run. I don't really understand what Saman Nishanta was trying to gain out of that. But I think play has continued, fair enough.
Well disrupted by Police there. But here's St. Mary's now with an opportunity.
Should be doing better with that cross. And should be using it to test the keeper, so will be disappointed there, the St. Mary's lads.
Another corner here for St. Mary's. Multiple chances at goal here. Bit too much there.
Okay, Metobo trying to resuscitate that. Dinesh Mahendran making no mistake and not challenged at all. Prince Clifford asking for something, but I think he knew that Dinesh Mahendran well within his rights to compete for it. And again, Damit Samanta this time hits the deck after that challenge. Slightly late there by John Lavani, but he feels that there wasn't much in it. Damit Samanta doesn't agree.
And it looks like there will be a substitution for St. Mary's. Marison will be taken out. And it will be Jerinson who's going in for him.
Mahinda Galagedra also now on the touchline here by us, asking a few players to go and hit the warm-up.
St. Mary's once again tussling there at the box. Ball at his feet. Doesn't get that shot right. This is frustrating for St. Mary's. They've been denied multiple times now. They'll be hoping this substitution can make an impact. Jerinson has been quite good for St. Mary's. He's good on that wing. Mason admittedly has been quite quiet today. Hasn't been involved in a lot of plays and hasn't been able to make an impact alongside his attackers. It feels like this will be a good opportunity for Jerinson as well to show what he can do with the ball at his feet.
Prince Clifford dictating play from the middle of the park, and here St. Mary's trying to push through, and fantastic work there once again. Vibrant Selvaraj has been a wall at the back.
There was an almost lazy pass as well from that St. Mary's player. He had a player to his right making that run. Should have been a better pass.
Shishant Prabuddha now spreading it out wide, ball coming back in the middle. Not a very good pass there, but St. Mary's will now like to attack again. The police have got numbers behind. Just a bit too much on it, but still going.
Police haven't really had much possession of the ball in this second half. It's all been with St. Mary's, and here's St. Mary's again. Once again, just a little too much with that touch. Ball just trickling out. Another goal kick for Dinesh Mahendran, who will no doubt putting this way up the pitch. Finds his player. Police now boots it out for Nabil. And Nabil with an opportunity. But goalkeeper Sindhujan doing just enough to disrupt play.
Yeah, what a pass that was by Shishant Prabuddha. Defense splitting straight into the part of Nabil Sardin. Nabil Sardin does everything apart from just get a little more purchase on that. And had he just got slightly better contact, that ball would be heading goal bound.
Definitely he got to the ball, but with the keeper charging in, just couldn't get his bearings right. Couldn't get the direction right. Ball just trickles away. Sindhujan will be happy with that result. He'll take a blow on his leg over a goal any day. Nabil has been quite a threat for this St. Mary's defense. Quite fluid on that wing for Police. Adding a little bit of flair as well to the game. Okay, Metabu has been one of the mainstays of this St. Mary's defense. And the more Police keep St. Mary's from scoring, the more restless these players will get. It's already showing in little fouls like that.
And as the clock ticks on as well, Bilal, I think those will become more apparent as the desperation tries to set in. Like I said, it's one of those games now. And very nearly, out of nowhere, Sri Lanka Police putting Sindhujan on his toes, and what a save that was. Caught us by surprise.
Definitely did, Deshan. For split second there, I thought that was a goal. Would have been the goal of the match had that gone in.
Again, I think it was a looping ball. Questions have to be asked about Sindhujan's positioning. How he managed to make such a meal of that, really.
Yes, Police now with a chance to cross it in.
Gumbari now on the break. Too heavy on the turn. Maliga Hettiarachi. Fantastic defending. Gives away a foul. I think he'll feel hard done by there. He had every right to contest for it. And he got his body between the ball and the man. As per the football I know, if the attacker tries to push through you when you get your body between the ball and the man, it is your foul. But stand to be corrected.
Sindhujan once again been given some medical attention.
Good punch there by Sindhujan. Gets there first with authority.
Two Police players almost getting to that ball. Sindhujan managing to do just enough to get a hand on it first. Police haven't had many attacking chances here in the second half. Or rather, the chances they've created almost vain in comparison. St. Mary's also opting for those long balls now. Here's an opportunity. Here's a pass, rather, straight into the hands of Dinesh Mahendran there.
Good effort to run into, just a tug on the shirt, unnecessary there on that occasion, and a clean opportunity for Jalaka Nishanta given away. And I think especially on the part of Nidarshan there, he was waiting for some contact. He felt like he was losing the foot race, I feel, and as the contact came, he went down with it. So smart play on his part, and St. Mary's once again straight out of bounds. 72 minutes now complete. We're rolling into the 75-minute mark. And as we are, slowly but surely, the panic sets in.
We're seeing a few more reckless passes from St. Mary's here. A few more hopeful passes as well as the game is progressing.
And now Nidarshan pushing through here. Ball comes in, great opportunity, but again the cross going nowhere near teammate. Fortunately for St. Mary's, they managed to win a corner courtesy Dayabar and Selvaraj, about which Dinesh Mahendran is not very happy, but again St. Mary's now with an opportunity to get the ball into the box, get some of those big men. They've not been good crossers, most of the crosses that St. Mary's have put into the box, to be honest.
Here's Gumbari now with the opportunity to cross. Will this be the one that goes in? Well defended there by Police. Stamping their authority. Nabil with that high press.
Shishan Prabuddha not really bringing it down very enough. John Lavani gets the ball. John Lavani trying to move it around. St. Mary's now with another wave of attack. Gumbari. Can Gumbari find a teammate? Gumbari gets the ball into the box. On rushing defender, absolutely nobody. Once again, here's an opportunity. Gumbari looked offside by the looks of it, but no, the flag has stayed down. He hits the post. St. Mary's once again. Gumbari with the shot. Try to get you a replay of that. I don't know if Gumbari was offside for that effort. He seems certainly like he was.
Police doing good to keep their composure there. The defense has been exceptional so far. Just comfortable to slow down the game just a little bit here. Frustrate these St. Mary's players. Here's that ball. Right in. There's Nabil on the wing. Midfielder just doesn't get back to it on time. Again, St. Mary's dispossessed. Ball goes to Nabil, who's on the wing there. He makes.
Not good enough of a cross straight at Sindhujan, so needs to be better, more dangerous of a cross.
Some good play by Police as well with the ball in their possession, just building it up. St. Mary's charging in now, dribble past the second player, dribbles past another, gives it to Gumbari there on the wing. Gumbari cuts in. Gumbari isn't able to make the shot. It's the defense once again, put under the pump and comes through.
Saman Nishanta, the substitute there, does fantastically well. Gumbari thought he would have done everything that he needed to do. Beats the man just as he was going to get the shot away. The second defender comes in and gets rid of it.
Police will be content taking their time. St. Mary's will just have to keep reminding themselves that with one goal, they can change the whole complexion of this game. Put Police under pressure as well. And when you put pressure, those cracks start to show. One goal can become two in a matter of minutes. St. Mary's just has to keep their composure whenever they are in front of goal and get that first breakthrough.
Absolutely, but Ratnam Jasmine, just on your screens a short second ago, does not look very pleased, and you can see the frustration on his face. His team, he would feel, has done enough to get one goal at least, but they've just left their shooting boots at home so far. As Gumbari drives into this box, and once again the second phase defense from Sri Lanka Police, fantastic. Saman Nishanta takes it away from him. That back four has been brilliant today.
Saman Nishant, of course, coming in for the injured Navoda Hasika early on in this second half. And he's proven what he can do when he's been given the chance on the pitch. Dinesh Mahendran once again using that strong right boot to pummel the ball right as far as possible. Is Gumbari now once again with the cross. St. Mary's with a chance. And the referee has awarded St. Mary's with a free kick once again. Very close quarters to the goal.
Shishan Prabuddha just not convinced that there was a foul in that, but leaving a leg dangling out there, Ahmad Amish essentially gave Prince Clifford the opportunity to go down. And as an attacker in that situation, you take advantage of it, and that's exactly what Prince Clifford has done. The first time that they had an opportunity like this on the opposite end of the pitch, they tested the goalkeeper Dinesh Mahendran with a brilliant save. And now They'll need more of the same if they are to use this chance to convert.
Will be interesting to see if it's Nidarsan who will be taking the kick again. His last shot was on target, and if not for Dinesh Mahendran's golden glove, that would have gone in. Players seem to be having a bit of discussion there around the ball. Prince Clifford, Lavani, Nidarsan, Gumbari, all of them surrounding the ball. Clifford now making his way into the box. And Gumbari approaching the ball, goes in, and once again it's Dinesh Mahendran who keeps it out. What a phenomenal performance Dinesh Mahendran is having today. Gumbari did everything right to get it into that top corner, but just not getting it past Dinesh Mahendran's gloves. Exceptional performance.
Mahendran goes head first into the ground there as well. Puts his body on the line for his team, and just a quick concussion check by the looks of it. What a save that was. Gumbari does everything, side foots it, going top corner, and just on his descent, there you go. Oof. Hopefully he's fine, but just a few checks quickly.
We approach the final 10 minutes of regulation time as well. St. Mary's, they've had tons of opportunities here, just unable to score. St. Mary's once again with an opportunity. Corner kick here. Looks like it's the substitute Jerinson who will be taking the corner. Got a number of players in the box. Here's Jerinson. Floats it in. Will it find a St. Mary's player?
So an infringement spotted there by the referee has led to yet another free kick, and Sri Lanka police using that to get rid of the pressure. St. Mary's, about 7 minutes of regulation time left in this game, plus added time to pull a goal back, and they'll feel they deserve one at least. Just not found the back of the net so far. St. Police, if it stays like this, will climb up the ladder of this table, potentially putting themselves in a much better position to go into the next round as well.
St. Mary's coming into this game would have expected a win. But police have managed to have the upper hand on them so far, over them so far. Police now on the cusp of victory here. They managed to do a brilliant job with their defense. St. Mary's still not backing down. Here's the captain Nidarsan with another throw in. Floats it high.
Losing the ball there, Clifford. Ball cleared immediately. Otebo. He's done everything he can to hold that defense together today, but they've just been opened up time and time again. A shot from distance. Hopeful effort. I think Sindhujan had that covered, to be fair. Once again, Lavani now dropping into the middle field. Gumbari trying to take it away. Gets a small knock for his troubles, but corner awarded. Prince Clifford coming over to take this one. Now John Lavani also on this touchline, as is Prince Clifford taking the corner. Ball comes in. Easiest header you'll have for the Sri Lanka Police defence. And now Sri Lanka Police with an opportunity to break. Can they get in behind? They've got 2 and 2. Nabil Sardin with a hopeful pass, just not square enough for his teammate. Sindhujan boots it up the pitch. And a clash there, but both the players going for the ball. No malice, but
looks like Police will once again milk this opportunity to get some seconds off of the clock.
absolutely both Malinga Hettiarachchi and Otebo, strong defenders. They don't need any treatment by the looks of it. Both of them are okay, but high impact collision there.
Captain Nidarsan puts it long, hoping to find his winger. It's intercepted by Police. Throw in for St. Mary's. Police once again making sure they do enough to disrupt the attack. Here's a shot collected by Dinesh Mahendran. Sends it away to the right side. And here's Police now with an opportunity. Nabil making a run into the box, but he chooses it to pass it behind him. Police winger. Police now once again
looking for that corner, and that's what they will get. Police won't mind that. They won't mind that the attack didn't come to fruition. They are going to be able to now burn them by maybe about another 30 seconds. Taking all the time in the world, Gayan Rivaldo and Hussein Abdullah. Abdullah going to take this. Straight at Sindhujan, so not a very good corner. Sindhujan. And once again, Malinga Hettiarachchi taking no chances. Works it all the way to Dinesh Mahendran.
And in these dying minutes of the game, it looks like there will be a substitution for St. Mary's as well. Prem Kumar will go in for John Lavani. Be hoping Prem Kumar has a bit more luck than Lavani has had today.
Yeah, Lavani's just had one of those afternoons, hasn't he? He felt he's done everything right, but that end product just not coming through.
Very well charged down there. Here's Sindhujan. Boots it down. Nidarsan on the ball. Police have managed to wrestle control, but just a wayward pass there.
Beautiful defense there by Sri Lanka Police. Looking for the foul there. Nabil Sardin doesn't get it, but great pressing. And this late in the game, in the 89th minute, it's fantastic to see Sri Lanka Police win the free kick.
This is frustrating for St. Mary's. On the last minute of regulation time. And we'll be having 5 more minutes added in. They haven't managed to pierce through that defense in the 90 minutes they've been given. And here's Sri Lanka Police skipping through defenders here. taking a roll. Police still in possession of the ball. Not the best of plays there by Sri Lanka Police. And St. Mary's have immediately attempted to restart. Unable to control Sindhujan's pass there. Captain Nidarsan now also playing up front alongside Gumbari.
So 5 minutes of added time, plenty of time for a goal or two. Police will be a very long 5 minutes, but for St. Mary's it will be a very short one. Pushing down the flank now, and corner now for St. Mary's.
Fans on the edge of their seat, hoping that this is the corner that will make the difference, hoping that this is the corner that will bring them that equalizer, hoping that this will be the first goal of the game for St. Mary's. Here's Jerinson now with the corner. He'll need a perfect one. He has his players in the box. Floats it in. Ball bounces in the box. Ball St. Mary's not happy with that call from the ref.
And I think the stoppage is because it was a clash of heads. As per the rules, there's a focus on minimizing head injuries and concussion injuries, so the referee had no choice really. But police, the dark arts at play, wouldn't mind killing a few seconds, and just like that, we're getting close to the halfway point of this added time as well, and that's exactly what police would want to do.
3 more minutes here for St. Mary's to make a difference. 3 more minutes that police has to hold on, and interestingly, they go for that long pass once again to the winger. St. Mary's have managed to get control, just not for long enough, as the pass to Jerinson goes out. St. Mary's passing to that far corner, but unable to control the ball. Sindhujan, the captain. Sri Lanka Police just holding on, still holding on to that slender lead of theirs, that 1-goal lead. Very impressive the way they've carried out proceedings. So today, this Sri Lanka Police team, they are coming back off of 2 consecutive losses, and the way they played today will be a huge boost for them. They haven't really been able to create many scoring opportunities here in the second half, but what they've done with their defense and what Dinesh Mahendran has done at goal has been phenomenal. There'll be another substitution for police. Madhuka Ashan coming in.
Another substitution, Madhuka Ashan, midfielder, going to be replacing Nabil Sardin, so shoring up that midfield as well for the last few seconds.
Sardin has had a brilliant day so far. He's been quite a threat, quite a headache for the St. Mary's defenders, and deserves the applause he'll be getting from the police fans. We are now in the last minute of added time here. That'll be offside call. Ball now in possession of St. Mary's. St. Mary's, will they go for that long ball? Yes, they do. Police doing enough to keep the ball for themselves. Just slowing proceedings now, knowing that they are on the brink of victory here.
Exactly where they want the ball now, police. by the touchline at the opposite end of the pitch. Can they make it two? No, doesn't get the shot away.
It's the first touch of Madhu Kashan there, the newbie. The new substitution right in front of goal as well. But here's Gumbari now.
Gives it away once again. Sri Lanka Police. One final phase of play, hopefully, and that should be that. But no, they've given it away immediately, and now St. Mary's will think they get one last bite at the cherry. Looking to get past his mark. Prem Kumar wins a corner, so one last corner by the looks of it. No, the referee blows the final whistle, and that's the 3 points for Sri Lanka Police. And just like that, in what has been an absolutely enthralling game here at the Racecourse International Stadium, the Cops hold on to the 3 points after that early goal, and St. Mary's head back to Jaffna with nothing to show for it.
What a performance this has been by Sri Lanka Police. St. Mary's denied chance after chance of scoring any goals. And what a game we've had on this Sunday. Will be quite disappointing for St. Mary's. They'll feel that they did everything they could to score a goal here. And it will be Chalaka Nishantha who is being awarded the most valuable player of the match award for his goal for Police early on. The goal that eventually secured the win for Sri Lanka Police. And as the players walk out, St. Mary's will be disappointed by the result. They've now lost 2 games in a row. And they haven't able to score a single goal today, despite having a host of brilliant attackers. A lot of questions will be asked by them as well. And that's the full-time confirmation. St. Mary's unable to score any goals so far, thwarted by that Police defense. And Sri Lanka Police, of course, holding on to that single goal lead. The highlights will show many opportunities for the Jaffna team, St. Mary's, to score. Just not getting it right. Wave after wave of attack, but it was Police who stood strong. And of course, Dinesh Mahindran, the goalkeeper for Sri Lanka Police. What a day he's had. Crucial saves at crucial junctures of the game, which allowed the rest of the players to play the way they did. We are having another interesting game coming up here at the Racecourse International Stadium. The final game for the weekend will be Java Lane versus Saunders Sports Club. Both these teams with a rich history. Both these teams have also contributed to the national team by producing many national players of exceptional caliber. It'll be them going head to head tonight at this Racecourse International Stadium. A lot of questions for St. Mary's as they go back to the drawing board. Police will truly be elated by everything they've done today. After scoring that goal in the opening minutes of the match. It has always been defense from Police. They've done exactly that. They've absorbed wave after wave of St. Mary's attack. They've done brilliantly. And we'll be going down to Navod for the interviews.
අපත් සමග දැන් එකතු වෙනවා අද තරඟයේ වීරයා චාලක නිශාන්ත පොලිස් ක්‍රීඩා සමාජයේ චාලක ප්‍රථමයෙන්ම කන්ග්‍රැචුලේෂන්ස් තරඟ ජයග්‍රහණය කරාට අද තරඟය ගැන ඔබේ අදහස් කොහොමද දැන් අද තරඟය ජයග්‍රහණය කිරීමට අත්‍යවශ්‍යම තරඟයක් තමයි පොලිස් කණ්ඩායමට තිබ්බේ.
ඔව් thank you විශ්වනාථ සුබපැතුවට මේ අද තරඟයේ හොඳ තරඟයක් දුන්නා සෙන්ට් මේරිස් කණ්ඩායමත් ඒ වගේම තමයි මේ තරඟයේ ජයග්‍රහණයේ මූලිකත්වය දෙන්න ඕනේ අපේ පුහුණුකරුට එතුමාගේ ඒ ගේම් ප්ලෑන් එකෙන් තමයි මම හිතන්නේ මේ මැච් එක දිනන්න ගොඩක් බලපෑ. ඒ වගේම අපේ බෙන්ච් එකේ අපිට ප්‍රැක්ටිස් කරද්දී මාර සපෝට් එකක් දෙනවා. මේ ඒ ඔක්කොමත් එක්ක තමයි මම හිතන්නේ අද මේ තරඟයේ දිනන්න හම්බුණා කියලා. ඊට පස්සේ තව කියන්න තියෙනවා මේ මම මෙතෙන්ට එන්න මේ මගේ අම්මට තාත්තට හැමෝටම මේ මෙයා කරමු.
බොහොම ස්තුතියි චාලක. ඉදිරි තරඟවල සුබ පතනවා.
thank you.
And that was the MVP, Chalaka Nishanta. Like he mentioned, he played to the coach's tactics, which enabled them to salvage this game, to win this game, to dominate this game. We'll be having another interview with Navod's downstairs, the coach of St. Mary's.
We have here with us the head coach of St. Mary's, Ratnam Jasmine. Coach, another tough loss, 2 losses back to back, one against Super Sun and this one against Police as well. You have another game. What do you think about today's performance? I think you all had quite a lot of chances.
Yeah, but you know, today's I'm not happy about my players' status and playing status because so they make this some complicated. But it's okay. But I hope they will do second half. We just make some ideas, but unfortunately, it's not success. It's okay. It's a game, no? It's a okay game. We have the one matches, and then we can try to build 2 matches.
Your final game in the group stage is against Pelicans, who are on top of the points table as well. A very tough one, and you need to win that match as well. What do you think about St. Mary's chances of making it to Super 8?
We can try because we have more chances and we can try. We have the good players, but I think today is the mentality is the problem, and then we can make and do the best for the next match.
Thank you, coach, and all the best for the next few games.
Thank you very much.
You have to feel for Justin Ratna, the coach of St. Mary's. He'll feel his team did everything right, but they just lacked that finish. They had chance after chance, but just unfortunate. And we'll be going down once again for an interview with the Sri Lanka police coach.
අප සමග එකතු වෙනවා පොලිස් ක්‍රීඩා සමාජයේ ප්‍රධාන පුහුණුකරු මහින්ද ගල්ගෙදර. මහින්ද, ප්‍රථමයෙන්ම සුබපැතුම් තරඟය ජයග්‍රහණය කරාට ටෝර්නමන්ට් එක පටන් ගනිද්දී පළවෙනි තරඟ දෙක ඉතා හොඳින් පොලිස් කණ්ඩායම ජයග්‍රහණය කරා. ඊට පස්සේ පොඩි පසුබෑමක් වගේ තිබුණා. ඊට පස්සේ දැන් අවසාන වෙද්දී ගෲප් ස්ටේජ් එක අවසාන වෙද්දී හොඳින් නිමා කිරීමට තමයි පොලිස් ක්‍රීඩා සමාජයට හැකි වෙ තිබෙන්නේ. තවත් තරඟයක් තිබෙනවා. නමුත් මේ තරඟය ඉතාමත් වැදගත් තරඟයක් වුණා.
ඔව්, විශේෂයෙන්ම ස්තුතියි නමුත් අපට සුබපැතුවට තරඟාවලිය මම හිතන්නේ අද තරඟේ ජය සමග අපට පොයින්ට්ස් 3ක් ලැබුණා. ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට දැන් පොයින්ට්ස් 9ක් මම හිතනවා අපි දැන් සුපර් හිට් එකට මේ වෙනකොට අපි සුදුසුකම් ලැබලා තියෙනවා. වගේම විශේෂයෙන්ම ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා මාධ්‍ය ජාල දෙකටම අපිව ලයිව් විකාශනය කරන පපරේ සහ සුප්‍රීම් ටීවී වලට. මොකද අපට ගොඩක් වැදගත් වෙනවා මේ අනික් කණ්ඩායමුත් බලන්න. මොකද අපිට මැච් ඇනලයිස් කරන්න තියෙන්නේ ඔබ මේ අමාරුවෙන් වීඩියෝ කරලා එවන රූපරාම වලින් තමයි අපි ඇත්තටම යම් දෙයක් කණ්ඩායමට එකතු කරන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒ එකතු කිරීමේදී ඕගලන්ට බලන්න තිබ්බ අපි පළවෙනි මැච් එක අපි ඉතාමත් පහසුවෙන් ක්‍රීඩා කරා. විශේෂයෙන්ම මේ තරඟය අපිට තීරණාත්මක තරඟයක් වුණා කාරණා කිහිපයක් උඩ. එකක් තමයි මේ තරඟයේ පුහුණුකරු ජාතික කණ්ඩායමේ පුහුණුකරුවෙක්. ඒ වගේම මේ කණ්ඩායමේ විදේශ ක්‍රීඩකයන් 4 දෙනෙක් ක්‍රීඩා කරනවා. ඉතින් අපේ කණ්ඩායමේ කිසිම විදේශ ක්‍රීඩකයෙක් නෑ. අපි දේශීය ක්‍රීඩකයන්ගෙන් තමයි අපි ක්‍රීඩා කරන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒ අනුව අපි යම් වෙනස්කම් අපි අනික් පුහුණුකරුවන්ට අපේ පොයින්ට්ස් හොයාගන්න බැරි යම් වෙනස්කම් අපි කරමින් තමයි මේ තරඟාවලිය අපි ඉදිරියට ගෙනියන්නේ. ඉතින් මට සතුටුයි මගේ ක්‍රීඩකින් මම පාපන්දු පුහුණුවීම් වලදී කරපු සියලුම දේවල් ටික අද ඒගොල්ලෝ ක්‍රීඩා පිටියේ තුලදී ඉෂ්ට කරා. ඉතින් විදේශීය ක්‍රීඩකින් 4ක් ජාතික කණ්ඩායමේ පුහුණුකරුවෙක් පුහුණු කරන කණ්ඩායමක් සමග අද පොලිස් කණ්ඩායම ජයග්‍රහණය කරා. ඉතින් ඒකට බොහොම සතුටුයි. නමුත් අපි ඊළඟ තරගෙත් අපි ක්‍රීඩා කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා වෙනත් ආකාරයකින්. ඒක තමයි පාපන්දුවේ තිබිය යුත්තේ. ඉතින් අපි හැම වෙලේම අදහස් කරන්නේ ඒ අනුව යන්න. අපි අලුත් ටෙක්නොලොජි ඒ වගේම අලුත් හැම දෙයක්ම අපි ලබාගෙන අපිට මොකද ශ්‍රී ලංකා පොලිසියෙන් අපිට සියලුම දේ ලබා දීලා තියෙනවා. මේ වෙනකොට කණ්ඩායමේ සියලුම ක්‍රීඩකයන් අපිව රාජකාරිය මුදවා හැරලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් පොලිස්පතිතුමා, අධ්‍යක්ෂතුමා, ස්ථානාධිපතිතුමා අද සියලු දෙනාට මම ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා ඒ වෙනුවෙන්. ඉතින් ක්‍රීඩකයන්ගේ ශක්තිය මේ වෙනකොට අපිට වැඩි වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් විශේෂයෙන්ම තවත් ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙන්න ඕනේ අපේ ක්‍රීඩකයෙක් ජපානයේ රැකියාවකට ගියා. නමුත් ඔහු මේ තරඟාවලිය දැකලා උට ජයග්‍රහණය කරන්න ඕනේ නිසා ඔහු ඒ ජපාන් ඔහුට ලැබෙන ඒ විශාල මුදලක් සමග තිබිච්ච රැකියාවක් දාලා අවලිය ක්‍රීඩා ඔහු නැම අපිට ගොඩක් සතුටුයි අපේ ක්‍රීඩක සෑහෙන කැපවීම තුලින් අපි බලනවා මේ පාර මේ තරඟාවලිය ඉදිරියට ගෙනියන්න.
බොහොම ස්තුතියි මහින්ද වලට සුබ පතනවා.
Thank you very much.
And Mahinda Galagadara will be a happy coach after his team's performance today. And these are the fixtures and the results that we've had so far. And next game, of course, Java Lane versus Saunders, two exceptional clubs who will be going head to head here at the Racecourse International Stadium from 8 o'clock onwards. And that's it for today. I'm Bilal Marikar signing off alongside Deshan Gonavala. Stay tuned for live action from Java Lane versus Saunders tonight.